I introduce to welcome Dr. Asutkar sir with the session.
Thank you. अच्छा मैडम सर
नहीं तुमचे लोग घेते मला Thank you ma'am. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce today's resource person, Dr. Asutkar sir. He is a vice principal at Nagpur College of Engineering. He completed his PhD in electronics engineering when at Nagpur and making powered electronics and baking electronics. He has a 23 years of experience in teaching and industry. He organized several workshops, STDP, conference on national level. He is a chairman board of study, emerging trend in engineering and technology at Nagpur. He is a member board of study, interdisciplinary board at Nagpur. He visited more than 9 foreign universities like China, Israel, Singapore, Hong Kong, Portugal. He has published 105 research papers in reputed international journals and conferences. He has 8 PhD scholars working under his guidance. He is associated with 2 foreign projects, social innovation on local Indians and Israel community graduate entrepreneurs in 2017 to 19, funded by Iran's Commission. Impact of fake news on recent European politics, co-funded by G. Monet, Iranus, and the Program of European Union. He is a work at review on 6 international journals and conferences. He is a senior member of IEEE. I request Dr. G. Asutkar sir to proceed for this issue.
very good. So I have to proceed on that side. So very good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Seems to me that we are very energetic and enthusiastic because this is the third day. Okay, and this is a very good morning. So how many of you from the rural background? ग्रामीण क्षेत्रातून किती लोक आहेत आता मराठी हाऊ मेनी ऑफ यू फ्रॉम रुरल बॅकग्राउंड रुरल बॅकग्राउंड ग्रामीण okay so how many of you are aware of what exactly is rural background so I began this with a simple note why AI and what is the rural background that is rural development is important and how these are very important for all of us. In my speech at the beginning or inauguration of the programs, I use this word that you just go for the simple solutions, how you can use the AI for simple solutions. So AI doesn't mean that you know the Python, you are very good at the Python, you are very good at the Power BI. It doesn't mean that you are very good at the AI. If you know the problems, you know the solutions, you do have the better understanding, you do have a better knowledge system, then only you will successfully convert your knowledge into a product for AI tools. That is very important. And that is why I said why this rural development is very important because most of the chunks of the students right now in this institute or anywhere is from the rural background. And here is the time when entire world, because you know the UNESCO already said 17 SDG goals, that is Sustainable Development Goals, and that is begin with the zero poverty, okay, and second one is which is very important, that is no hunger, and zero poverty and no hunger, and third one which is fourth one that is the quality education, so we all included in that, and the next one which is very important in all this aspect is economic growth and decent work culture. So economic growth of any entire world, because the urban population play a significant role, it's not significant role, it's a vertical role, but the rural populations play a significant role in the national GDP. And if your rural background, if your rural economy is growing, so certainly your nation is growing and it will be affected to the GDP. Because whatever we do have the vertical, because vertical growth means every cities are growing very fast and villages are sinking. Same is with the economy. When you talk about the economy, the rural economy is sinking and urban economy is growing. So urban economy is growing, it means there is a vertical growth, and if we use some certain AI tools or how we can use the machine learning algorithms, that we can improve the rural economy and rural development. That is what the importance of this specific topic in this machine learning. Okay, so next. So are you familiar with this place? Amba. Ambala village. Okay. So something that begin with how we can begin and what motivate us. What I say, this session or whatever time you are spending here, whatever time, 1 hour, this should be some productive uses. This is what I expected. That is the outcome of this workshop. Otherwise, what happens if I deliver seminar? It will be over in the checklist. It doesn't mean that there is an outcome. Outcome is what? Even you start thinking a significant use of AI for the rural development or for any projects you plan for the rural development, then it will be a benefit or it will be the outcome of this specific seminar. Let's begin. So how we can require why we require as all of us are knowledgeable. All of us can do something different for the society. We do have that much potential, and along with that, we are the teacher and we are in positions to what we can say influence a number of students. That is what the goal you are. And if you use this kind of tool, certainly it will benefit it to the society at masses. That's what our objective is. And that is what the brave as an entrepreneurs and risk taking attitude. So we have to think not only in the aspect of the academic, we have to think in aspect how we can use this knowledge in the entrepreneurship way. That is what the brave. And corporate means the governance by setting and meeting the strategic goals and objectives. What happens in villages nowadays when you go through, they do have their own old orthodox approach for their problems. They used to do with the same fashion. They don't have advanced weather monitoring system. They don't have any advanced crop monitoring or area detection system. So that is what the problem is. So how we can use this corporate? We just give them even the Gram Panchayat Sarpanch. If you uh, tell them that how if you begin in the corporate world, certainly it will be benefited to the society. Intelligent. So all of you are intelligent because you are in positions to use the ICT tools. ICT tools हम सबको आते ही हैं और हम लोग उसको use करते हैं. So how we can use this ICT tools for the social village development? That is what my concern of this presentation. So this is my presentation that contains concept of smart village. Okay, what do you mean by the smart? Smart means what? What are the changes in education or your teaching learning when we use the smart classes? What do you mean by smart classes?
Latest technology.
Huh?
Technology enabled.
Why use advanced technology?
Makes the process easier.
Next to process easier.
Easier, faster, efficient.
Optimize.
Optimization. Which you feel better?
Optimized
PPT,
is more.
educate classes on PPT or classes with chalk and duster?
Good combination of both.
How you use this? Where you feel better? Okay, what about the impact? Which methodology will create more impact on the students, chalk duster or your PPT?
PPT will add extra flavor, but for some subject, I think that we should have.
So calculative part like calculations in geometry, ability comes vertical with for representing some images and diagrams.
Okay. Same thing that you have to think in the entire process, because when you start your thought process that how I will give better and better to the students, so it should be a effective one. That is what our concern is, and accordingly we will work on that direction. If I add this topic with PPT, to certainly it will create a big impact. Okay, if you are using animation, okay, in search tables, if you are using the animation with the search tables, it will create the impact, and on your presentation it will be remembered to the students for long time. That is one important concept. Here the same thing, why we use this, when you are familiar with the teaching, then you can use this methodology for the improvement of teaching learning process. Same you think about if you are familiar with the village ecosystem, suddenly it will change a big impact on the villages as well. So smart is the we have to identify what exactly we will do. All of us are related. We will go back to the society. We are the part of the society. Every day we are facing a lot many problems with the society in villages, in the Gram Panchayat, in city with the NMCs. So your concern is with the society because end user is society. Second, what is important that how we can adopt that is moral, methodological, and modern approaches that we have to identify. That's the part of this one. Second is aware and adaptive and adjust. So you have to make the pupils aware what exactly they are doing. This is uncivilized, civilized, or whatever we can do. So this is for the betterment. Third one is responsive and ready. Responsive and ready means a system that we expected. Responsive means what? Whatever we adopted or whatever we sent, that should get a proper response on whatever the action. So that is perception and action concept is very important. That's called a responsive approach of society. Second one, technology and transparent. When you adopted the technology, because the system and entire world is changing very fast, and in this changing or dynamic scenario, if you adopted the changing technology, then certainly you do have the edge over the world. That is what the second important is. So that is why in every approach we are adopting a smart approach to give a better outcome of your efforts. That is what the objective. Same is the concept when we adopted it for the village. Okay, why I give more focus on the village just because we need to develop the village. It will be create a big impact on India's GDP and economy. Okay, अगर हमारे गांव को ही अगर अपने नहीं सुधारा तो अपने खाने को नहीं मिलेगा, ना सब्जी मिलेगी, ना रोटी मिलेगी, ना कुछ भी, और उनकी इकोनॉमी पे ही अपना सब कुछ सस्टेन करता है. ओके, सो दैट इज व्हाट द मेन कंसर्न. नेक्स्ट sir, one concern that is clear to everyone, growing population and the rapid urbanizations. This is the important concern. Second, to furnish the social, economic and environmental welfare, action of village community. Because they are playing a significant role in GDP of India, because still in India more than 70% population are still resides in the villages. To ensure the good education. So ensure the good education because I say the everybody is now complaining that quality of student is very poor. Why you are complaining? Because the crowd is from the rural areas, from Chandrapur, Yotmal, Varda, Gondia, all this district. And everybody is complaining that sir, bachche अच्छी नहीं, because they are coming from the background that doesn't have a same quality education which will get the center point, governments, because they are belongs to the Jilla Parishad education. They do have the potential, but they are not facilitated or they are not get that kind of quality education. That is what the problem is. So our role, how we can do this ICT tools or how we can improve on that aspect, that is again very important. Proper sanitization, this I will discuss. To encompass a sustainable and inclusive development of all stations of the village community to enjoy the high standard of living. This is the role we have to play. This is the role we have to identify how we can play. That is what I say, that how many of you are from the rural background, because most of us come to the cities and we are enjoying a better life standard than you as compared to the persons or your relatives who are at the village. They are not used to enjoy that kind of lifestyles. So here, this gap is certainly very difficult because one person who is in the city is enjoying a better and lavish lifestyle, and one brother who is in the village is not enjoying that kind of lifestyle. That is the difference is a big concern, and this is create a social impact on the community at large. Okay, so that is what our concern, and that is what we have to think in that direction. That is what to ensure the sustainable and inclusive development of the all sections of the village community which are the high standard. अब देखो गांव और शहर, आपके अगर एक भाई गांव में है और एक भाई शहर में है, तो उन दोनों की लाइफ स्टाइल में बहुत फर्क है. ये एडमिट करते हैं या नहीं करते हैं? तो ये क्यों हो रहा है? और ये जो सोशल डिफरेंस आपका तैयार हो रहा है, दैट विल क्रिएट द बिग इम्पैक्ट इन द फ्यूचर. लेकिन ये जो गैप अगर बढ़ती जाएगी, कंपेरेटिवली बढ़ती जा रही है, ये गैप जब तक बढ़ती जाएगी, इट विल क्रिएट अ बिग इम्पैक्ट। अभी बहुत सारी चीजें आपके सामने आती है, फ्रस्ट्रेशन, सोशल प्रॉब्लम्स, डिप्रेशन, ऑल दिस आर जस्ट बिकॉज वो देखता है कि वो पढ़ के लिख के आगे बढ़ गया, मैं यही रह गया। पढ़ना चाहिए, बट पढ़ना चाहिए, लेकिन गांव में भी अगर वैसी ग्रोथ हो रही है, गांव में भी वैसा डेवलपमेंट हो रहा है, तो देन सर्टेनली इट विल narrowing the gap, it bridges the gap between the person or the relative who is at the city and the person who is at the village. This difference that we have to close, and this will play, this AI tools will play a significant role if we can improve or be successfully improve the economy of the villages. Next. So village is almost everybody is know, everybody is flying. What is your perception about village? I started with you. क्या गांव मतलब क्या समझते हैं?
गाँव मतलब जहाँ शांति है, छोटा डेवलपमेंट थोड़ा कम है, बट वहाँ के लोग अच्छे हैं।
अच्छे, ये परसेप्शन है एक स्टूडेंट का, आप बताइए सर।
सर विलेज में जहाँ है टेक्नोलॉजी कम है, अवेयरनेस कम है,
हाँ,
और बाकी जो भी है स्कीम्स रहती है रिलेटेड टू इंफॉर्मेशन एंड टेक्नोलॉजी,
हाँ,
तो उसको कैसे यूज करना पड़ेगा इस चीज़ के बारे में कम नॉलेज और ज़्यादा बेनिफिट नहीं देता।
एनीबॉडी सर, आप बताइए, यू आर फ्रॉम विलेज।
यस सर, गाँव में ज़्यादा एजुकेटेड लोग नहीं रहते, कम रहते हैं।
एजुकेशन, हाँ,
एजुकेशन, सो सपोज हाई स्कूल के लिए जाना है 7 के बाद में,
हाँ,
या 4th स्टैंडर्ड होने के बाद, तो गांव में स्कूल्स वगैरह बहुत कम रहते हैं। 7 के लिए जाना है तो सिटी में जाना पड़ता है, या 10th तक होंगी स्कूल में तो 11th के लिए वो सिटी में जाना पड़ता है। तो स्कूल का थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम्स रहता है एजुकेशन का। और फार्मर्स वगैरह है, उनको लेटेस्ट टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं रहती है, जो ट्रेडिशनल टेक्नोलॉजी चलती है, तो वही टेक्नोलॉजी वो कंटिन्यू करते हैं।
एनीवन विश टू ऐड?
एग्रीकल्चर का सोर्सेज ज़्यादा होता है।
एग्रीकल्चर, so I will send you the MCQs. You have to provide the solution. Anyone from this?
Sir, financially you're not strong.
Financially, you are not strong. With villages are not strong.
70%.
I expect this answer from the government.
As population is less, most of the facilities are lesser than the urban area.
Population less है तो management बहुत अच्छा होगा ना?
Yes, but there are minimal facilities are less because just like sir said, education, because all the things are coming according to the population. So if the students are less, then the higher education is not provided there. Most of the higher education facilities are in the urban area. So this is the one of the thing. As well as we can say that there is a awareness about the various things because they are economically weaker side is there, so they are not aware about
But
the
economically weaker side also is in urban.
Yes, but they are having their another kind of things, just like they are mostly
Sir, what traditionally
Yeah.
culture को hold करके नहीं।
नहीं सर, इकोनॉमिकली आप ऐसे नहीं बोल सकते कि एवरी विलेज ये इकोनॉमिकली वीक है करके। वो स्ट्रांग रहते हैं बट उनका अपग्रेडेशन नहीं है, अपग्रेड नहीं करते, वो ट्रेडिशनल पे ही यूज करते हैं।
I am telling you, just go back to the 10, almost 20 to 30 years back. Our villages are so rich. The peoples are so rich. They do have all kind of facilities. Not even villagers can enjoy 3 to 4 servants. Every household are making. That's not possible even for the peoples in the urban. If we do have this kind of luxury, that kind of lavishness at that time, why not this time? Because this is what the gap that we have to identify, and how we can use or adopt the technology to bridge this gap and improve their learning. Ultimately, what happens in the villages, the population is growing, and population growing, the land is reducing. Landholding is reducing, and landholding is reducing, then agriculture doesn't become financially or economically viable for farmers in the rural area, because most of the villages are from the farmer community and their complete economy is based on crops. So here the main concern, when you are look at the prices at the urban level, the commodities what we are using as compared to the prices of all the food is not increasing that rapidly. Okay, so that is what this indifference in these prices of the food and all crops that will create this kind of imbalance in the economy at the rural side. Now, these services could be location specific and depends on the demographic. It changes from the villages to villages. Second, new design technologies and management models should use to upgrade the existing services such as power, water, building, retail, healthcare. These are the main concerns because all of our discuss we are pinpointed that as far as the facilities is concerned, the facilities at the village side are lagging. Okay, up to some extent. Of course, there is a concern of the education. Education always play a significant role, no doubt about it. But it doesn't mean if we are not, if it doesn't mean that they are not able or they are not government are not it's not possible for the government to give them the facilities. It's possible for the government to give or equip with them with the same facility what we do enjoy at the city level. Second, it requires for strategy, integrated planning, and also monitoring and execution is using the appropriate governance model. Okay, so appropriate governance model means again it comes to the complex problem. When it comes to the complex problems, how we can use AI or how we can use the data what will be from the all these villages for the betterment, for the decision taking, for the economic, social and educational growth at the village level. That is the concern of today's seminar. Next. Now let's understand the basic ecosystem. How this villages ecosystem works. Okay, ecosystem of the villages is in the service chain, resources, institutions, and the delivery service infrastructure. Okay, so delivery service infrastructure means we have to identify how one villages works. How many of you familiar with the villages that what it's कैसे चलता है? You know, all of you are from urban area. So how many of you are from the urban area? Almost all. You know कैसे चलता है यहाँ पे administration governance कैसे चलता है? पता? हाँ? स्टेट गवर्नमेंट कितने लोगों को पता है, जिला परिषद कितने लोगों को पता है, ग्राम पंचायत कितने लोगों को पता है, एनएमसी में क्या होता है, इंस्टीट्यूशंस मालूम है कौन सी इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं जो गवर्नेंस का काम करती हैं अर्बन नहीं, अब सिटी का बताओ पहले, सिटी से एनएमसी है, फिर जिला परिषद गांव के लिए होती है, तहसील है रेवेन्यू के लिए होती है, हाउसिंग सोसाइटी नहीं वो अलग है,
इम्प्रूवमेंट ट्रस्ट नागपुर यूनाइटेड
वो एक अथॉरिटी है. हाँ, एनएमसी आपका गवर्नेंस में होता है जो अर्बन गवर्नेंस, सेम इज विद द ग्राम पंचायत. ओके, जिला परिषद इज अगेन फॉर द ग्राम पंचायत, इट विल बी कंप्लीटली हेडिंग टू द ग्राम पंचायत, पंचायत समिति, जिला परिषद. इधर पे आपका एनएमसी होता है, एनएमसी के ऊपर आपका मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ अर्बन डेवलपमेंट. Okay, these are the governance, state government, then district administration, then local administrations. This is what our governance is working. So before this, we proceed that how this complete ecosystem works. That is very important. And next, in this complete entire ecosystem, in this ecosystem, service chains means all these are related to this ones. All authorities, all institutions, they play the significant role. Resources, that funding resources from state government, local, tax, everything that will be working. Delivery services, transportations, everyone that will be. So here we have to identify to understand this, how ecosystem works, and on the basis of this ecosystem, how this is very complex operation. And wherever there is complex operations, we do have a better understanding that how we can deal with them. Next. This smart concept or policy of arena, that how we can use the role of ICT, infrastructure, human capital, education, and social relation capital in the environmental factors. Village performance depends on the hard infrastructure. Okay, that is physical capital, and increasing on the availability, quality of knowledge, communication, and social infrastructure. So this is what important is intellectual capital and social capital. Who will provide the intellectual capital? You will provide on the analysis of complete data, and social capital, what will be the existing it, what we have to do, how effectively or smartly we can work on this entire scenario, that is supply chain, institution, resource persons, and everything, and we can improve the entire global scenario. That is very important, because it will be affected from right from the village, from local to global concept. A smart village has an investment made in the human social capital in addition to the physical capital. Okay, so आपको क्या लगता है किसी भी चीज को बेटर बनाने के लिए आपको क्या क्या चीजें चाहिए? क्या क्या चाहिए?
एजुकेशन,
एजुकेशन, घर, पीने के लिए अच्छा पानी, हेल्थ. Okay, so we'll come to that point, but this is what we have to work and we have to identify. Second, investment climate of a village of policy resources, infrastructure, all these are next. Then we can modify. Next is smart village ecosystem. What smart village ecosystems? You just look at the service chains. सर्विस चेन में आपके साथ में कितनी सारी चीजें रहती हैं जो अपन बात कर रहे हैं, खाने के लिए अच्छा खाना, देन पीने के लिए अच्छा पानी, सैनिटाइजेशन. आपके 7 एसडीजी गोल्स को आपने आइडेंटिफाई किया, पढ़ा है जो 2030 के लिए यूनेस्को ने टारगेट किया. Because around this 17 5 major concern of this UNESCO is people, planet, prosperity, peace, okay, and complete scenario, and environment. So all these are 5 concerns which is related to the complete humanity, because user, who is the end user? Society. And in this ecosystem you started with the governance, who are the institutions involved. If you identify this institution, the state government, जिसमें आपका आता है कलेक्टर, रेवेन्यू ऑफिसर, एक आपका डिफरेंट होगा. देन विलेज पंचायत, रेगुलेशन अथॉरिटी, जिसमें आप ये बोल रहे हैं एनआईटी वगैरह बोल रहे हैं. देन सिटीजन ग्रुप्स और एनजीओस. These are the institution, they can provide and they can run or they can help the village. The service delivery technologies and mechanisms, bus truck transportations for the villages, IT and mobile networks, procurement of warehousings and marketing for the agricultures and SMEs, food courts, employment of farming, post office based services, online ticket booking. What will be the infrastructure? अब देखिए इसमें से जितनी भी चीजें हैं, how many of these services are available in villages?
पोस्ट ऑफिस.
Every right now, every gram panchayat is connected with the OFC, optical fiber cable lines, that is under the this PM Modi is already started to connect all gram panchayat with the 10 GB lines. So they are providing the infrastructure, but what kind of role will to play? That IT and mobile network is already established. Second is procurement of the warehouses is already started, because what will be the खेत. गांव में क्या होता है, गांव में जब भी फसल कटती है, मैं बता देता हूं सर, गांव में जब भी फसल कटती है, फसल कटने के बाद उसको स्टोर करने की फैसिलिटीज किसानों के पास नहीं होती. अब स्टोर करने की फैसिलिटीज किसानों के पास नहीं होती, जब उसके कारण क्या होता है कि वो लोग अपना पूरा अनाज मंडी में लेके आते हैं, और लॉ ऑफ सप्लाई एंड डिमांड जो होता है वो उस चीज को अंडरस्टैंड नहीं कर पाते कि जब अगर मार्केट में उनकी उपज को अगर अच्छी कीमत नहीं मिल रही लेकिन उनको कम कीमत में वो चीज मंडी में बेचनी पड़ती है, क्योंकि वहां पे वेयर हाउसेज नहीं होते और यहाँ पे उनका एक्सप्लॉयटेशन शुरू होता है। और इस एक्सप्लॉयटेशन में क्या होता है कि जो भी लेके आते हैं, अब ला लिए उन्होंने एक बार मंडी में, तो वापस घर में लेके नहीं जा सकते। मंडी में उसे जो रेट मिलेगा, जिस गांव में भी वो लोग आइडेंटिफाई करेंगे, जो भी रेट रहेगा उसमें उसको लेना पड़ता है। कई बार उनको आधी कीमत में भी अपना माल या उपज को बेच के घर आना पड़ता है। So this is what the exploitation is, and this is what the problem is with the ecosystem. Whatever be the hard earning of any farmer who can sold it out for the low cost, and even whatever be the amount is spent on getting a good yield, that is completely exploited or he can lost, and that is what the problem is in the villages. अब मुझे बताइए कि अगर वो मेहनत करके इतना आ रहा है तो उसको उतना रिटर्न नहीं मिल रहा, तो सर्टेनली इट विल बी कम। और गांव की इकोनॉमी कोलैप्स होने के कारण शहर की इकोनॉमी पे भी उसका फर्क पड़ता है, बिकॉज इवन वी गेट द फूड एट small lower prices, but certainly it will affect it to the local market. Local market के कारण उसका impact आता है शहर पे, so it will create a really a big problem. Here small problems can create the big problems in the impact on the economy of the nation. That is what we have to understand. And second, what is the food force employment in the farming? Basically, all farmers, particularly non-irrigated. Non-irrigation means they are not taking the two crops. जो एक आपको मालूम है, किसान लोग दो क्रॉप्स निकालते हैं, एक होती है खरीफ और एक होती है रबी. Okay, what do you mean by खरीफ? Kharif is basically that is conventional season, that is during the monsoon, and Rabi is basically that will begin after the holiday. So Kharif and Rabi, but most of the farmers, even in a significant amount, they are completely, their economy is completely dependent on the Kharif crop. That is only the rainy system. अब rainy system is completely dependent on the weather. Weather अच्छा है तो वो चलेगा, वेदर अच्छा नहीं रहा तो इकोनॉमी कोलैप्स हो जाएगी। रबी आपकी रहती है, दैट इज द सपोर्टिंग सिस्टम टू द फार्मर्स टू enhance their economy, and that is only possible in irrigated areas. If the area is not irrigated, there is it's not possible for farmers to get a rabi crop. Okay, so this is what the economy for the farmers. अब इतनी सारी चीजों में, अब गांव में व्यवसाय क्या है? खेती। अब खेती पे कंप्लीट डिपेंड करता है उस गांव के जितने लोग हैं। गांव के इकोसिस्टम में वैसा ही होता है जैसे शहर, लेकिन शहर में आपका बिजनेस होते हैं, इंडस्ट्री होती है, बाकी सारी चीजें होती है, लेकिन गांव में कंप्लीट बिजनेस होता है आपका एग्रीकल्चर, और एग्रीकल्चर पे बहुत सारी गांव की इकोनॉमी डिपेंड करती है। अब इनमें से कोई भी चीज अगर गलत होगी, इफ एनीथिंग इज मिसमैच just because of the bad weather or for any conditions brought up in, so that will create a problem on the economy and certainly. So here we have to identify what are the problems. अब ये business हो गया, ये economy हो गया. Now they are living standard. कुछ लाइफ में उनको जो बेसिक नीड्स है वो उनको भी जरूरी है, जो अपने को जरूरी है. But they are compromising with a lot of things what we are enjoying at the city level. That we have to identify. They also need a water purifications. अब गांव में पानी का प्रॉब्लम है. Why? Because it's not, we cannot divide entire community just because they don't deserve, just because they are poor people. So water purification and clean water is again the need of them. So how we can maximize, that is how we can provide them the better, that is we have to identify. Second is affordable housings. Even what kind of I just presented one screen. In that screen you notice that villages in the rural area, they cannot afford a very good lifestyle, they cannot afford a very good pakka makans what we do have. They also, so with right now there is changing scenario. So PM प्रधानमंत्री योजना करके है, उसमें 2 लाख की फंडिंग होती है, 2 लाख is not enough. We have to working on how we can improve their economy. Then primary education, rural employment, vocational trainings, farming and SMEs. So this will play the complete. So look at this smart village ecosystem. This smart village ecosystems will be play a significant role in driving economy of the villages, and it's a complex problem. Okay, or whenever there is any complex problems, we simply remember AI. In this complex scenario, how AI will play a significant role to improve this economy? That is what the concern is, and that is what we learned so far in last 2 days. How we can use for this economy? This is my concern. This is my motivation. This is my objective of this presentation. Okay, so let's begin what we can do with the AI to improve this entire ecosystem for the villages. And this is really a very complex problem because you have to control all these things in the proper manner. And how sensitive the economy of the villages, because it will affect to indirectly to the complete urbans. तो गांव की इकोनॉमी अगर खराब हुई तो अर्बन इकोनॉमी पे भी उसका फर्क पड़ता है. गांव में अगर फसल आपके देखिए ना, टमाटर का भाव है ना, टमाटर का भाव अभी प्याज का भाव, तो फर्क पड़ता है ना. आप चिल्लाते हैं, मीडिया एकदम शुरू हो जाते हैं, मीडिया को क्या मालूम दलाटे का भाव क्या किसानों का है. मीडिया ने कभी इस चीज को फोकस नहीं किया. मीडिया ने उस चीज को फोकस किया, दे आर सिंपली यूजिंग द नैरेटिव. लोगों में प्रोपेगेंडा कैसे करना, कैसे उसको बढ़ाना, उस पर करते, लेकिन दे आर नॉट वर्किंग ऑन द बेसिक व्हाट आर द कंसर्न, व्हाई इट हैपेंस. So this is again related to the law of supply and demand. So this is again we can resolve with the AI tools. So you just look at this smart village ecosystems, which seems to be very complex, and in this complex, how we can use AI tools to provide the solutions. अब इतने complex scenario में आपको एक छोटा सा कोई भी एक चीज चुन सकते हैं. Okay, anything you choose for this ecosystems, and this you have to submit an assignment on that. Okay, आपको एक असाइनमेंट उस पर सबमिट करना है कि इस इकोसिस्टम में आप कौन से सॉल्यूशंस को प्रोवाइड कर सकते हैं. एक कोई भी केस स्टडी लेके उस पर आपको काम करना है. नेक्स्ट, सर्विस चेन्स मैं डिस्कस कर चुका हूं, आगे ले लो. विलेज गवर्नेंस मैं आपको बता चुका हूं. अब फीचर्स क्या क्या है, आपको क्या क्या देना है, मींस व्हाट वी कैन प्रोवाइड विद the smart village concept. So certainly we are expected that every villager should have their own pakka makan. Okay, and if they don't have, then why don't have, what is the problems, how we can provide them, what is the limitations, that comes from the data you gather, and you have to become, or you try to make them reach that how we can resolve these problems. So certainly, smart village means every person in this village should reside in a pakka makan. Then, village enterprise development. The main concern of any village enterprise development, because the economy is completely based on farmers. So what we can do, what the add-on we can provide, because they are working for 4 months in the fields. If they are only using a खरीफ क्रॉप, रबी है वहां पे उनका पूरा एक साल में इकोसिस्टम चलता है, लेकिन जहां पे खरीफ है उनके साथ में बाकी के 4 महीने के लिए कौन सा ऐसा इकोसिस्टम होना चाहिए. बिकॉज so they need to identify what are their skills, what are their competency, what is based, what is good at them, what is the skills they do have. Then accordingly we can identify and provide a complete, what you can say, we can provide them a complete, we are providing a complete system that will support into their economy. Then waste management, most of you are familiar with this what kind of scenario in the rural areas. So they do deserve that how we can make all this waste management in their specific area and convert that waste management into biogas, and how we can use this biogas for rural energy sources, that we have to identify. Then safe drinking water facilities, that is expected. Malnutrition, because the first important concern of UNESCO is zero poverty and no hunger. So no hunger means how we can provide food to all this. Government is working on all this. Okay. Grievance redressal is very important process because in the rural areas there is a lot of conflicts among the villages. They are very sensitive. Okay, so this is again we can provide through the counseling. Third one is the bank accounts. गांव में बैंक नहीं होती है. Okay, so if they do have their amounts, they don't know कि पैसा घर में रखते हो लोग. अब घर में रखते तो घर में रखने के कारण क्या होता है उसमें इंटरेस्ट वगैरह so they are not getting they don't have any investment plan. So better way that how we can invest or we can provide them the bank accounts. That is very important concept. Nowadays, every citizens do have their bank account. This is what government is doing very exceptional. Then use of renewable energy. This is important concept. What you can do? We can use the solar system, solar cells and everything. We can go for that. Second one is no child marriage. This is again a social problem in the villages. Primary school, they don't have primary school. We have to make it the mandatory for even for every village's primary school. Then zero school dropout. This is again very important. So we can do this with the AI tools. Next. Now, how we can change and you have to identify what kind of role you have to play. Digitalization. Now just tell me how do you identify any changes in villages with this digitalization skill? क्या देखा?
Smartphone.
Smartphone तो सभी के पास है.
Internet.
इंटरनेट तो है.
Transaction through smart.
So solar lights are installed in every villages.
अच्छा और
Every school is having the smart board facilities and the education recipe facilities.
और क्या क्या? आप लोग जाते हैं तो गाँव वगैरह में कैसे ऐसा टेक्नोक्रेट्स या ऐसे इंजीनियर के हिसाब से आपको नहीं दिखते उनके प्रॉब्लम्स को अपने आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं सॉल्यूशन आप प्रोवाइड करते हैं क्या सॉल्यूशन
मुझे कल मैंने पढ़ा था farmers they are given the rupee cards. By that card they can directly purchase the seeds. पहले पैसा मांगते थे उड़ा देते थे या किसी और रीजन से खत्म हो जाता. Now they can purchase and these cards are they are connected to the banks. So natural calamity से यदि farmers का नुकसान होता है तो दोबारा वो कार्ड से फिर से सीड्स खरीद सकता है. So AI, I see the role of AI.
any other because I will ask an assignment बिना असाइनमेंट का सर्टिफिकेट नहीं मिलेगा इसलिए मैं आपको इन्वॉल्व कर और here you just you focus what kind of role you wish to play. Digitalization means smart building and smart surveillance. This is the top one. ये पहली priority नहीं है. Okay. So if we deploy this, so that what the smart city means. So in smart cities, complete surveillance is there because that not was security, and you are not understand the how much problem as far as security is concerned in the villages. जितने भी आपने अभी जितने भी रेप और इसके जो केसेस अपने इसमें आए हैं उसमें से मैक्सिमम वो ग्रामीण क्षेत्र से. Okay, because the girls at rural areas they used to visit अपने इधर जितना क्राउड होता है ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है. 2-2 किलोमीटर 3-3 किलोमीटर खेतों में जाना पैदल जाना ये करना बहुत सारे केसेस ऐसे होते हैं जो हमारे सामने आते ही. This is the major concern. You just search on Google why this rape and murder cases for particularly for the women's against women and girls is very because there is no surveillance, there is no nothing because people are not putting in effect. whatever they're doing, this is what खेतों में जाना, इधर जाना, उधर जाना, this is very completely. आप गांव में जाके देखते हो एक खेत में एक अकेले के लिए गाड़ी काम करते हैं. Okay, this is just on the trust, but we don't know what happens. In a lot of cases, we are not. So surveillance is very important because it will be negative. So use of sensors and cameras, example is installed in the all these things, and monitoring the using the camera to create alerts. That is very important. And it doesn't go for a big trust. This is for the security purpose. Security of business and the villages. Second, which is smart weather and irrigation, because this is again very important concept. If we provide the better installations of the cameras, we can enhance the security of women's and child in the villages. Second, which is very important, smart weather and irrigation, because the economy of every village is completely depends on crop. And crop is again, you are well aware that Rabi and Kharif is completely depends on the weather. Right now, the season is this one. This is the season in the most of the villages where yield मतलब जो रहता है उपज करने का टाइम है. And they what happens in the villages, जो भी उनकी उपज आती है, they काटते हैं और साइड में रख देते हैं. उसको साइड में रखने के बाद उसको एक जगह जमा करते हैं. जमा करने के बाद उसका क्लियर वेयर करके वो लोग उसमें से फिर इसको निकालते हैं. अब ये कंप्लीटली उनका सिस्टम जो होता है वेदर सपोर्टिव, ऐसा इसलिए करते हैं कि वो एज्यूम करके चलते हैं कि कोई बारिश वहां पे नहीं होगी. अब ये एज्यूम्पशन के साथ वो चलते हैं और अगर इसमें बारिश होती है तो उनको बहुत बड़ा नुकसान होता है. आप सोचिए कि आपने पूरी मेहनत की, अपने आप पूरा प्रोजेक्ट वर्क बनाया, थीसिस लिखी और सत्य और पानी में पूरा बह गया. या आपने सिस्टम में पूरा कंप्लीट आपने पूरे थीसिस बनाए, रिपोर्ट लिखी और एकदम से सिस्टम क्रैश हो गया. तो वो अगर उनकी इकोनॉमी के साथ हो रहा है, जिस किसान ने 6 महीना मेहनत की और 6 महीने या 4 महीने की मेहनत के बाद जिससे उसका पूरा साल भर का, उसके बच्चों का, उसके परिवार का, उसके गांव का कंप्लीट और लाइफ डिपेंड करती, वो चीज भुला जाती. सो हाउ इम्पोर्टेंट दिस वेदर इंफॉर्मेशन इज अगेन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. एंड इफ वी सपोर्टेड विद irrigation particularly for the cases where we can talk about the Rabi crop, so that will support the economic systems. This is again important concept. So here all these weather informations are available. तो आपको इसमें क्या करना है कि you have to identify what is available and what is not available. Your role is to how we can design system with AI tools. We can provide a better alert system to the villagers. You can start with any case studies or any images. Next. Smart farming is again very important. मैंने जो अभी एग्जांपल बताया था कि टमाटर के भाव है ना, टमाटर के भाव में क्या होता है कि गांव में किसानों को मार्केट सप्लाई और डिमांड और सप्लाई के बीच में बैलेंस निकलता है. जैसे ही टमाटर के भाव 120-200 किलो पहुंचे, सारे किसानों ने क्या किया, टमाटर लगाने शुरू कर. इससे पहले तुअर दाल का ऐसे हुआ था. तुअर दाल का शॉर्टेज होने के कारण उसकी डिमांड बढ़ गई. अब किसान इस लोकल उसको अपने जिले के बाद या पंचायत के बाद कुछ मालूम नहीं. He is not aware of the complete scenario की सप्लाई और चेन क्या है, रेट कैसे मैनिपुलेट होते हैं, रेट कैसे बढ़ते हैं और कौन सा कहाँ पे कौन से क्रॉप लगा रहा है, क्या लगा रहा है, उसको वो कंप्लीट मालूम नहीं. सो इन दिस सिनेरियो व्हाट वी हैव टू डू, if we have a KBS knowledge based systems that complete information that what kind of the weather forecast in the coming season, what is the डिमांड ऑफ विच फूड, कौन से सप्लाई में किस चीज की बहुत ज्यादा डिमांड होने वाली है, कौन से क्रॉप्स कैसे जा रहे हैं, कौन से क्रॉप्स अपने को लगाना चाहिए, और वेदर के हिसाब से क्रॉप की मॉनिटरिंग होनी चाहिए या कौन सी क्रॉप लगाना है। ये अगर इसके बीच में अपन बैलेंस कर पाते हैं, then certainly it will be very important, it will be fruitful to the farmers. What happens if all the farmers are go with the same crop, certainly it will be reduce the prices because demand is reducing, then certainly it will be reducing the price. जितनी मेहनत वो पूरी जितनी मेहनत करा उस मेहनत का उतना आउटकम नहीं आ रहा, मतलब ये जो डायनामिक है, दिस डायनामिक इज वेरी डेंजरस इन रूरल इकोसिस्टम। सो गेटिंग टू माय पॉइंट, मैं उतनी मेहनत कर रहा हूँ और उस मेहनत के लिए आज के तारीख में मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि मुझे आज 1 लाख रुपए का फायदा होगा, तो मैं 4 महीने मेहनत कर रहा हूँ और 4 महीने के बाद देख रहा हूँ कि सारे किसानों ने सेम फसल उगाई। अब सेम फसल उगाने के बाद जो मेहनत मैंने उसमें 40,000 रुपए लगाए, तो मैं 1 लाख एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा हूँ, और 1 लाख एक्सपेक्ट करने का जब मुझे मालूम पड़ता है कि मुझे 20,000 रुपए ही मिलेगा, दिस विल very dangerous. This is still unmanageable in the farmer levels. You are trying to identify what kind of solutions you can provide. If we use the AI tools, because they do have complete database of entire nations, they do have a complete trend global level पे क्या trend चल रहा है, इधर क्या trend चल रहा है, उसके according उस चीज को अपन balance कर सकते हैं. So this will play a significant role. That how we can use the smart farming and how it will be help them. The sensor will help them to get the better crop. बाकी सारी चीजें. Third one is smart healthcare. Smart healthcare means कई ऐसे गांव है जहाँ पे डॉक्टर नहीं है, कई ऐसे गांव है वहाँ हेल्थ फैसिलिटीज नहीं होती, बट विद द latest healthcare technology that we can provide them with the smartphone, and we can provide them the better health facilities by providing them by using AI. Third one is smart educations, that we can do that. Smart dairy. Smart dairy is basically it will support again to the farmers to enhance their economy. So AI to empower farmer. This is a case study one which I already sent. So here AI to empower farmers by delivering the intelligent insight, expertise and other resource inputs. AI for weather advisory and advanced for crops, and AI for farm management, AI for sensors for the farming smart. ये जो सारी टेक्नोलॉजी है, if we can use this AI, certainly it will benefit it to the entire ecosystem. And if we are successfully implement whatever the knowledge, you you go through all these resource person or all these sessions to identify how you can use this for the betterment of the society. एक इसको पीछे ले लीजिए. Now you just go through all this topic and identify what you learn in this resource and how we can. So I will start with the first one. To empower by delivering the intelligent insight, expertise and other resources to increase the reach. Anybody who wish to add on this something? Can you give me the insight? कैसा कर सकते हो? पहला टॉपिक हेल्थ केयर में मैडम मैं आपको पूछूंगा.
Exploring the technologies, जैसे ट्रैक्टर्स है या पेस्टिसाइड का यूज, उसकी मात्रा कैसे लेनी है, उनको नॉलेज.
अभी हमारा मेन उद्देश्य कैसे कि इकोनॉमी, वी नो द इकोसिस्टम, how we can use this technology that will be improve the ecosystem. Informations we do have. Market scenario we know, farmers don't know. We are providing them the information in advance that you go with this crop. This is the weather forecast for this season. This is We can expect that this kind of rain itna hona wali hai, and this is the global scenario. Can we design and develop that what are the trendings in the crops? जैसे अपन ट्रेंडिंग कैसे करते हैं, कोई भी चीज को ज्यादा हिट होता है तो वो गूगल में वो ट्रेंड करने लगता है. We have to identify what is trending from the demand in the market. Can we go with this trend and we analyze the complete database or the history that what happens when something is trending in the media regarding farm and how it will be affected on the economy in the coming years. मतलब आज जो क्रॉप ट्रेंड कर रही है क्या वो क्रॉप शेयर मार्केट की जैसे तो नहीं है कि जो शेयर आज बहुत ज्यादा ट्रेंड कर रहे हैं वो एकदम से कोलैप्स हो जाते हैं. तो जो फसल आज ट्रेंड कर रही है जो हायर लेवल पे है उसका मार्केट सिनेरियो 4 साल बाद क्या रह सकता है. We can generate this kind of database that will generate an alert system to the farmers. You suggest them with the Ministry of Agriculture, with the Gram Panchayat, with the institutions that the crop in this distinct area can go with this crop that will give you the food. If we receive this kind of, if you go with that, means if we have maximum number of farmers, अगर आप टोमेटो की कर रहे हैं टोमेटो बहुत ज्यादा क्रॉप ले रहे तो टोमेटो के लिए मार्केट वहां पे आपका नहीं है. So we suggest them to go with the food processing plant, use process that yield and preserve it so that products also give you the base price. Okay, so this is what we can improve the economy. So you just go through entire all this case studies and you identify what kind of role you wish to play in future in this aspect. Reading it. AI will always have tremendous potential to play the significant role in AI. AI क्या है? अब मैं AI नहीं बताऊंगा. But I'm telling you the AI. AI is a tool which completely based on perception and action. Okay, and it helps particularly in complex problems where the information is fuzzy. Fuzzy means what? Uncertain. So there are two things which are very important: perception and action, and decision making. Decision making is very simple. In case if I ask someone that what are the simple things? Simple things anybody can answer it. Anybody can answer. But particularly in the complex problems, when we have to take the decisions, there is even uncertainty is less than 0.4 or 0.5. Then you are not able to take the right decision. Right decision is completely based on the right perception, and right perception, then right perceptions. If you do have the right perception, then your action should be right. Otherwise, it will be affected the performance. So that is what AI is. If you do have the better perceptions of all the ecosystem of the rulers, you have to identify with the smart technologies what you can do, and then you try to identify the uncertainty. What are the uncertainty in this entire ecosystems? आपके हिसाब से the question number 1 MCQ. What are the uncertainties at the villages? वहाँ पे उनको आप कौन सी चीजें होगी जो आपके हिसाब से क्रिस्प इंफॉर्मेशन चाहिए. क्रिस्प इंफॉर्मेशन कैसे कन्वर्ट करोगे? So you identify, list out what are the uncertainty in entire village ecosystem. This is my question that you will submit an assignment. Please note it down. Uncertainty. How you can use an AI tools to convert this uncertainty, that is the fuzzy information, into crisp informations, fuzzy information into crisp information. You know about the fuzzy and crisp?
Yes, sir.
फजी और क्रिस्प मालूम है कि नहीं?
Yes.
फजी को क्रिस्प में कन्वर्ट करने के लिए आपको क्या लगता है? डीप लर्निंग, मशीन लर्निंग, एल्गोरिथम्स. Fuzzy is what? When the things are not certain and probability is lies between 1 to 0, 0.5. Probability is 0.5. Because when we talk about the certain of this information, either yes or no. S means probability is 1. If the probability is 0, it means no. And fuzzy means the probability is 0.5. 0.5 means if probability is tending down, it means there is an that we will make a decision it is no or 0. And if it move towards above the 0.5, it is 1, that is called as a crisp. यहाँ पे क्रिस्प को लेके आपको वेट असाइन करने देते. ये सारी चीजों को डिसीजन लेने के लिए क्या लगता है आपके? Set of arguments. Set of arguments, because reasoning is very important concept in AI. Reasoning is basically completely depends on how you can use the premise. Premise means set of arguments. Set of arguments. अब set of arguments में completely it will be depends on the two, logical and rational. Logical reasoning and rational reasoning, that way to go with the rational reasoning. If rational reasoning is basically there is a very strong or weak. Logical आपको कभी भी logical reasoning में आपको justify करना पड़ता है. That is comes from the induced and deduced reasoning. So this is what the AI है. आपको इन सब चीजों के साथ में मुझे assignment submit करना है. How you can complete go with this induced information and deduced information. Induced basically is logically proven and then you go for the deduce. So logical में क्या होता है कि जैसे आप पुलिस कोई भी चीज को इन्वेस्टिगेट करती है ना? तो इन्वेस्टिगेट करती है तो उनका वो रैशनल अप्रोच लेती है कि ये ऐसा ऐसा होगा, ऐसा ऐसा होगा, ऐसा ऐसा होगा, वहां तक पहुंचती है. Okay, but when they put the case in the court, they have to come with some logical. They have to come with the logical. That is what the evidences. Okay, that is with the experiments. Okay, so this is logical reasoning and rational. So logical reasoning and rational reasoning completely depends on the premise. जो भी आपकी uncertain information रहती है, certain होने के लिए उसके साथ में आपके arguments लगते हैं. शॉपिंग करते हैं करते हैं नहीं करते? 3 कपड़े आपको पसंद आ गए, आपको एक ही लेना है, कैसे करते हैं? किससे पूछते हैं? खुद से पूछते हैं?
घर में भी फोन लगा.
हाँ, फोटो आजकल फोटो निकाल के नहीं भेजते क्या आप? है ना?
वीडियो कॉल.
फोटो निकाल के भेजते क्या नहीं? टाकरे वाला कसं वाटतंय? हा ड्रेस चांगला आहे की हा चांगला आहे? भेजते नाही भेजते? भेजते ना? वीडियो कॉल पण करतात. तो वो काय के लिए कर रहे हैं अपन? Because we are not certain at the certain distance. So we add certain arguments from experts. इसकी चॉईस चांगली आहे. तर जिची चॉईस चांगली असते तिला आपण विचारतो. काय विचारतो? Because that person is expert in that domain. So if you are uncertain, you add the arguments from the की ने काळा तुला असं पांढरा असं दिसेल, निळा असं दिसेल. So these arguments is basically help you to take right decision, because after these certain things you convert your uncertainty into certainty. Same thing is you are dealing with the complex problem. If there is no choice, then all अगर आपके पास में कोई सिंपल चीज है तो कोई विषय नहीं है. लेकिन जब आपको लगता है कि बहुत सारी चीजें पसंद है और आपने को सिर्फ एक लेना है, तब अपने को प्रॉब्लम आता है. So this is what the AI play a significant role. You go with very simple solutions. You don't go for very complex. Then you apply this algorithms or apply any AI tools for the simple, and then you proceed for the complex one. Okay, so you just provide me the simple problem solution as an AI expertise, what you wish to change, and how you can use the digital or AI tools for the improvement in the rural development. मॅडम हा असाइनमेंट आहे सर्वांना, हा असाइनमेंट सर्वांना सबमिट करायचा आहे आणि त्याच्यानंतरच त्यांना सर्टिफिकेट मिळेल. ठीक आहे. So thank you very much for patiently listening to me. If you have any queries, feel free to ask me. मैंने बहुत फास्ट इसलिए लिया क्योंकि आपने बहुत लेट शुरू किया. कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है पक्का? लेकिन मैं बहुत सीरियस हूँ, मैडम को मालूम है मेरा सीरियसनेस के साथ. तो आई विल, मैं बिना आपके इस असाइनमेंट सबमिट नहीं तो आपके असाइनमेंट सबमिट करे हुए बिना आपको सर्टिफिकेट नहीं मिलेगा. ठीक है. तो आप इसको एंजॉय करिए. एंजॉय करने में बर्डन नहीं, छोटा सा प्रॉब्लम लो कि आप क्या कर सकते हो, एक सजेशन भी आपके इम्पोर्टेंट. ठीक है. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your knowledge and expertise on application of AI for rural development. Your made this session is very rewarding and great learning experience for all the participants. One genuine feedback, sir, came from the participants. Your PPT is very informative and nicely prepared.
Thank you. What's your feedback? नहीं, मैं इधर आप बोलो क्या बोल रहे हैं. देखिए, जितना जब तक आपका एक ऑनेस्ट फीडबैक नहीं आएगा तो मैं उतना इम्प्रूव नहीं करूँगा. आपको क्या चाहिए था? मैं इसमें टेक्निकल चीजें इसलिए इंक्लूड नहीं की, मैंने इसको इंफॉर्मेटिव रखा. इंफॉर्मेटिव ये रखा है कि रूरल में हम क्या कर सकते हैं, वो मैंने आपको बताया. हम प्रोजेक्ट्स पे बहुत बड़ी बड़ी चीजें सोचते हैं, है ना, लेकिन यहाँ पे हमको क्या है, छोटी छोटी चीजों पे भी अपने काम करना है. और आप लोगों में वो पोटेंशियल है, तो प्रोजेक्ट्स को आप उस डायरेक्शन में सोचिए.
So to felicitate our guests, I request Dr. Neeta Thakre and John sir to offer the memento as a token of love and devotion.
Thank you very much. And I am just planning that we can start with some projects on AI. If anybody is willing from anywhere, you feel free to join this project. We started recently with one project. And AI में क्या होता है, AIDS में अगर आप किसी के लिए प्रोजेक्ट कर रहे हैं तो वहाँ पे सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज़ें रहती है डेटा सिक्रेसी. डेटा सिक्रेसी कितना इम्पोर्टेंट होता है कि हमने जो प्रोडक्ट को लिया बाजू वाले को भी नहीं बताना. तो वहाँ पे अगर डेटा सिक्रेसी में आप लोग आगे आ सकते हैं तो आपके पास में, मेरे पास कुछ प्रोजेक्ट्स है वी विल शेयर, बट इट नीड्स अ कंप्लीट एथिक्स. एआई सबसे एथिक्स में होता है डेटा सिक्रेसी. अगर अपन किसी का भी डेटा गलती से भी लीक करें तो अपनी ऑथेंटिसिटी भी पे खत्म हो जाती है. 2 प्रोजेक्ट्स मेरे यहाँ पे चल रहे हैं डिपार्टमेंट में, बट बाजू वालों को भी नहीं मालूम को किस पे काम कर रहे हैं. ऐसे बहुत सारे प्रोजेक्ट्स इन पाइपलाइन है. अगर आप में वो पोटेंशियल है, कॉम्पिटेंसी है, यू कम विद दैट. एंड वी आर प्लानिंग टू डिजाइन एंड डेवलप फीजिबिलिटी कॉलेज ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग एज एन हब फॉर एआई. वी आर वर्किंग इन दैट डायरेक्शन.